Hey everybody. As we all know, it's the summer months and it's hotter. Some places are hotter than other places. But one common problem that it seems a lot of people are having is trouble with their air conditioners in their cars. You know, you see those commercials on TV where you can go to Walmart and buy a bottle of refrigerant with a little gauge on it, you know, yellow, green, and red. Pretty simple stuff. They tell you within 10 minutes you'll have your AC back. Well, that's true if you've lost the refrigerant in your compressor. But the problem is, just like everything, it's not that simple. There are many components to an air conditioning system besides just the compressor with the refrigerant. I'm going to give you two examples of things that I have fixed in the last little while, so that you understand that when you take it to a shop, they're not trying to scam you. There really are different problems. My fiance's grandson had a 2003 Toyota Corolla, and the AC didn't work. Now, again, I checked the refrigerant level, and it was full. It was the high and low pressure sides were where they needed to be, so I realized there was another issue. When I turned the thermostat on the dashboard from hot to cold, it did go from hot to lukewarm because of course the air conditioner wasn't working, but it did change. So I thought about it and went under the fuse panel and saw that the relay was located in the engine compartment. I turned the key, turned on the AC, and put my finger on the relay, and there was no click, which told me that the relay was bad. I went down to our local O'Reilly's, got myself a relay, and put it in there. Maybe cost me $12, $13, and sure enough, it made a connection and the air conditioner worked. So it wasn't the refrigerant level, it wasn't a problem with the compressor, it was just a relay, which is a fancier version of a fuse. The second thing that happened was my fiance's, again, granddaughter had a 2010 Ford Fusion, where the AC was again charged. There was enough refrigerant in it. I checked that, and then I ended up turning the thermostat up, or the temperature up and down on the dash to see if it was going to blow hot or cold. Turned out that it was hot on both sides. If it was adjusted to the highest temperature, it was hot. If I adjusted it to the lowest temperature, it was still hot, which told me that the door, which is inside of your dashboard, which you figure that you have heat. This is heat. Well, when you turn your car to a colder setting, a door comes in and blocks the heat. Well, if that door is not moving, you're just going to have heat at any temperature that you set. That is regulated by a part called a blend door actuator. It's only about this big, and it has a little shaft that when you turn the temperature hot or cold, it rotates the shaft that opens and closes the door inside your dashboard to block the heat from coming in or allow it to come in. Unfortunately, those are usually located underneath of a glove box or all the way underneath of a brake pedal, which is a complete pain in the rear end because I'm 6'5" and I've broken my neck. So you got to imagine a guy who's 6'5" who is upside down with his head where your brake pedal is, and my feet were on the seat up into the back of the car. 3 bolts, tiny little 5.5 millimeter nuts, and I got them off, took out the actuator, put the new one in, and sure enough, now the AC is blowing cold because that door is working to shut off the heat. Now, usually I will buy my parts from the salvage yard because they are significantly cheaper. This actuator, brand new, was 50 bucks. Had I bought it at a salvage yard, it probably would have cost me $5. But there are certain parts that even I won't get from a salvage yard. And those parts are the ones that are underneath of a dashboard like that, because I don't know if you've ever had to do that, but that's not one you want to do twice. So I buy a brand new part and I put it in and it works. If I got one from the salvage yard, it would have been like a roll of the dice to see if it worked or not, and I wasn't willing to do that. So with all of that said, remember that when you take your car to the shop and you think that they're trying to take you for more than you want to spend, AC systems are complicated. A lot of systems on your car are more complicated than you think. But if you go on Google and you type in the symptoms that you're having with your car, it will pop up with some solutions. And don't be afraid to try to do some of this yourself. Now, maybe underneath of the dash is a little more than a lot of people would like to try to do, but you know, it'll tell you how to test a relay, and you don't need any special tools to test a relay, and a relay's $13. So just remember, don't think that everything is that 10-minute quick fix, but it also doesn't mean that everything is impossible for you to do. Now, I hope you guys end up having a good rest of your summer, and I hope that the heat doesn't end up killing you. All right, thanks a lot, guys.